Whoa, that's fascinating. I think I said wow after every one of your,
Tirade.
really, really amazing and profound. And that also makes me think about, this notion of this heart connected man, and what a role, what the world would be like if we actually had men that it was okay to be men. For myself, I didn't feel like I was a grown man until I was about 44.
Mm.
And I think a lot of people suffer from this, in that it wasn't that I wasn't successful and I wasn't in occupying big leadership positions. I think I was the youngest CEO of a publicly traded healthcare company when I was 32.
Wow.
So I was already like, I'd already kind of checked my boxes and said, okay, I can be a man now, but I didn't feel yet like I had accomplished everything that I still set out to before I considered, okay, I've made it through my rite of passage. Right. And I'd taken big risks, and I had done, a lot, been responsible for a lot all over the world. And I think what shifted in me was realizing one day, and I think, first of all, women are a lot more mature than men. I think women start to mature a lot in their late 20s and early 30s, where men kind of go in this no man's land. And that's where we have to go into a sort of rite of passage. We
Mm.
have to go and figure out, can we survive in this world? Are we going to be a victor, or are we going to be a victim? And so, and as soon as you decide to take on that mantle of victimhood, then everything starts to look like you're getting victimized,
Mhm.
because you're the hammer searching for the nail of victimhood.
Exactly.
And so I think overcoming the tendencies that society has to pull us towards that is what it really means to become a man in today's world. Being able to define and understand what's important to the man, and also take responsibility. I didn't ever understand in love relationships that what my partners wanted was not the same thing that I wanted. I mean, not even closely the same thing, right? It was like radically opposed in a way. One was, for me, I wanted to be loved because I felt like I had been missing that, because I had had so much, conditional love growing up with a tiger mom who's like, oh, you got all A's and one A minus. Next time, if you get all A's, then I'll really love you, right? That type of stuff. And that's kind of like the classroom you described in a way, right? So then that leaves men in this weird position where we're always seeking the acceptance,
Yeah.
right, of the women in their lives. But then what is it that the woman wants? We think that they want the same thing. The woman doesn't want the same thing. The woman wants safety. The woman wants containment. It took me a really long time to understand that. And the woman wants evolution. The man wants everything to stay the same.
Yes.
When I've talked to men and women that have gotten divorced, I ask them, what was it? Why'd you get divorced? When I knew you, when you guys fell in love, what happened? And the woman says, you know what? He never grew up. He was still playing video games. He never evolved into the man I thought he was going to become. And the man says, she totally changed. She used to like to have sex all the time. She used to like to go to football games. She used to like to do all these things. And she changed and she evolved into something that I don't want to be married to anymore. So immediately, right from the very beginning, the expectations were off. His expectation that she would remain looking like the exact same way she did when she was 22 years old was a devastating disappointment. And for her, the disappointment was that he never grew up into the man that she had expected him to become. I think there's something very profound in this, and that we can become better men when we understand what the woman and the feminine, the divine feminine, actually needs and wants.